Much better. Trying to. So, I missed today's live with Mr. Mecc on YouTube. I am so sorry. I was a bad mechanic. Bad mechanic. Um, so I know that he's been super busy, and I know he missed the live on Saturday. Um, I was okay with it because I actually went to an event on Saturday. So Saturday would have been no good for me. But I still would have found a way. If I would have seen the alert, I would have found a way to get myself in there. Being his moderator and all. So, anyways, but I missed today's because of Martha Stewart. I was watching Martha Bakes again and I didn't see the alert. I am so sorry. And it was a good conversation. So here's my perspective. I've given my perspective in regards to AI, especially with music. Now I'm not an artist, but I am a consumer, and I give the opinion of the consumer. So I've done, conversations where I've been live with artists about this, and I talk about this with a lot of my artist friends to get their opinion, especially the super duper talented ones, because I think that is where the thing is. So I'm not pro using AI unless you're only using it maximum as a tool, not as something that is definitely gonna take over and do everything, nor as something replacing the whole reason why you need that AI. For example, replacing an artist or a singer with full on AI. So I've shared this opinion a lot. This is actually why in my last live, when the person mentioned to me that I should try using I questioned it because I I think the term is a purist. I'm a purist in the form of I like natural things, meaning I don't want a computer to sing the music for me. I want the singer to sing. And I know so many creatives. Hey, how are you? I know so many creatives that are so talented that I couldn't imagine that talent being replaced by AI. And I also, me personally, I don't want that. So the moment, and this is my personal choice, again, as a consumer. Now, everyone can have their own opinion, but this is mine. So I'm the type of consumer that if I hear a song or if I see something that's like art and I'm digging it and I think, wow, that's whatever it is, that's really good. Since I know really, really talented creatives, I know that that is possible and possibly even better. But to see all of a sudden, to find out that that is actually not a real artist, and whatever form of art you want to consider, not a real artist, but it's all I personally, at that point, I don't want anything to do with it. And I know that there's a lot of people like me. One of the people that shares my opinion, and this is, it just happens to be that we, great minds think alike. That we think alike in this, and that is Mr. Mac. So pretty much to the T, besides the fact that he was arguing with someone about it, in the perspective of an actual artist, that I don't know because I'm not an artist. But I'm very picky about the content that I put together. I'm I like using filters. I like wearing makeup, but I don't use anything that's going to create a whole new me or distort my image so much that it is no longer me. Um in my eyes, someone that does that, and for example, if you're using it to create music, if you don't already have that talent and you're not using it as a tool to help it out and to maybe enhance it a little bit, I personally wouldn't want to hear your content, because to me it's fake. In my mind, that automatically I see it as a negative. I don't see it as a positive. Um, I personally intentionally choose not to deal with anything that has AI in regards, especially to music. On a daily, I struggle with accepting AI. If you have been in my lives before and you saw my last live, at the end, a gentleman came in and he was very helpful and he was explaining to me that maybe if I used AI to upload my videos to YouTube, that might actually help with the whole the lackluster image that I'm hoping to see, but that when I upload it, for some reason something happens where it gets messed up. And my first response to him was, "But wait a second, is it going to change what I look like? Because if it does, that's not something I'm interested in. I'd rather fix it in an organic type of way." Okay. So even though something is everywhere and it's just the beginning, you can opt out from using it. And if you, I see that you're saying you feel it's a lost battle. I don't think it's a lost battle, because there's a lot of people like myself and Mr. Mecc that we're not trying to accept it so wholeheartedly. And again, that is our perspective and our opinion, but we exist. And that is my whole point with that. I pretty much agreed with everything he was saying. Um, say what you want, but after photography invention, no one really continued to paint. I hear that. And for example, I know some artists. I follow them on Instagram. One of them I met here in Miami personally, and he is very talented. I couldn't imagine, and he sells his paintings for a bag, a whole bag. Um, I couldn't imagine AI taking away his bread and butter, the way he's making money, the way he is, expressing his creativity, when you could just have a computer pretty much try and mimic the way that he's creating the art. If me personally, the way that I am as a person, if it's something that you show me two images and I'm liking both, the moment I find out that this, and in this particular, for this conversation, that this here is AI and this was made by an actual artist who sweat, whose sweat, whose blood, whose tears is in this work, because that's what makes it valuable, right? For an artist to put their all into that painting, that's what I want. I don't want the shit that was made by a robot or by a computer or by something without a soul. So, and that's the type of person I am. I follow the people that I follow, especially in the music industry, the artists that I follow, all the creatives that I follow them, and this really is my message. I follow you because you are unique in some way, shape, or form. And I am gravitating towards that. That sounded weird. I'm gravitating towards that uniqueness, that talent you have that only you could offer me, not an AI computer, um and not anything not organic and without a soul. I don't want any of that. What I'm always going to want is whatever uniqueness it is that you are bringing. And everybody has something. And I'm a strong believer on that. Which is why I'm I don't want to say Um, I wouldn't say I struggle with accepting AI, but I try to use whatever the real thing is. So if I'm writing something, I don't want to use ChatGPT. I want to use my own noggin to put whatever it is that I'm going to put together to express myself, because at the end of the day, it's my own expression. It is not something else creating it, and it's not someone else's expression. So it makes a huge difference. So that, I don't know, I wanted to share that perspective because again, I'm Mec's moderator and I'm always in the chat, and mechanics, we're always giving our opinions. And I missed the live today and it was a really good topic and I was like, damn. So, and like that, y'all also see what I'm dealing with when when I'm giving perspectives on things like using AI when you're dealing with any type of creativity, especially in regards to music. Um, Again, I don't mind using it as a tool. And I know different artists and different producers, they use it, as a tool or to make beats. But it's still you, and your soul is going into that end product. So that's my point. I could keep on going in circles. But the moment I found out means you don't judge the result, but judge the ethic of it. Both, both, to be honest with you. And that's the thing about me. I have a lot of integrity and I'm big on ethics. I'm very ethical with a lot of things. The fact that that would take away from an artist and their pocket just because of my integrity, I'm already not going to want it. But I'm also going to see it, me personally, if especially, again, let's talk about art. If it's not real, I don't want it. I want the real thing. And if it's not the real thing, I don't want it. I see it as lesser than. I know a lot of people see it in an opposite way. A lot of people see it like, oh no, it's better. Not in my eyes. Just because something is flawed or imperfectly made, that actually might have, and people that know art, they know this, that actually might have more value than something that is perfect and made by a computer. So that's my opinion. Again, now I'm given the perspective of someone that grew up in an era where there was no computers, no AI, no internet. So I think since I've lived a world where I've seen the awesomeness of a creative with all the imperfections of their music, for example, or their art, and I have had my mind blown by the fact that a human is creating that, that's what makes them special. So, um, and I've lived that. So I think it's hard for me to even think of the concept of there could be a machine or a computer or whatever that's going to come in and completely um, present an end product where I'm going to want to choose that, which I see has no soul, over an actual creative. No matter how flawed, whatever it is that they're putting together, to me, I'm gonna have more value on the real with the soul creation that artist, whether they be a singer or an artist or a writer, it doesn't matter to me. And I've noticed this, and I've noticed when I'm online and I see something and it's a song and somebody tells me, oh, it's an AI artist, I'm like, oh, so they're not hitting the vocals because they don't got vocals, they're a computer. Anyway, that is my point. that is my take on it. Um, I am going to have my phone tomorrow, I swear, like this, up on my face. Because normally I'm working with it in front of me, especially around the time that the lives start. But since Mecc has been doing the lives later, or he's been missing them because he's been super busy, which is okay too, Mecc. Um, Today I was like, oh, I guess he's not doing it. So I put my phone down. And I started watching my Martha Stewart. And when I'm watching my Martha Stewart, let me tell you, when she's showing me all these things I could bake and cook and whatever, I'm like, um, look how much I am into doing things real and fresh and organic. I'm looking at baking shows to make my own things, not go somewhere where a company has made what I'm going to ingest into my body. That's how far I take it. So yeah, no AI for me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, sorry. This is my perspective. I happen to share the same train of thought that Mech had in that live. Um, and that's all I got for you. Appreciate the person that came in. I think his name is Martin Jean. Appreciate you in the conversation. Appreciate the likes. I'm gonna hop off of here and I'm gonna keep watching my Martha Stewart. But tomorrow I will have my phone right here. So when the live starts, I'm gonna hop in and I'll be in the chat. Shout out to all the mechanics. Shout out to Mech. Stand your ground, son. That's what I'm talking about. I love being part of his community, let me tell you. Also, all the singers, because everyone knows that I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna hop off. I'm very big into the culture of hip hop and R&B. None of the artists I know, even with all their imperfections, none of them would need AI to replace them or replace whatever their talent is, because they all have talent. So yeah, at the end of the day, if you're going to be a content creator, if you're going to be an artist, um, if you're just going to be any type of creative, the whole point of being a creative is creating, not having something do it for you. Stay blessed, everybody. Um, Keep pushing. If you're a creative, be genuine. Put your soul into things. Work hard for it. Consumers like me, people that support like me, that's what we're really looking at. Um, be kind to others. Spread love. La la la. Spread love. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow, depending on how the live goes. Maybe I won't. I had a long, hard day at work, so now I'm just going to chill. Deuces.